sat on, even the lyrical excerpts, we're always tapping, and we're usually subdividing. So that's what I was doing when you were playing this, and your pulse is perfect. So that, in any major orchestral audition, well, in any audition, but really the big leagues, the big auditions, here are the non-negotiables: sound, intonation, and rhythm. You cannot, it doesn't matter how well you play, how accurate you play and all that. If you don't have a great sound, great intonation, and great rhythm, you probably won't advance. And you may wonder, hey, I played a perfect round, why didn't it go my way, you know? So your rhythm is there. Now, sound, the quality of your articulation on the majority of the notes I love. We're going to talk about a couple notes that, well, I'm going to say that they have like a burr on it, like da 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 da. We got to clean that up because articulation is sound. So, I mean, any part of your technique, it's all theme and variation. So first, when we talk about sound, we think that it's, we say, well, sound has like a sustained note, and it is. You want to have a clean, clear, focused sound that you can sustain. Now, how do you tongue on that while maintaining that quality of sound? Then you start to add the tongue, first in legato. Then you add staccato. So that you maintain that sound, but when you articulate, you don't compromise with a burr on the sound. So let's work backwards. Play that concert F. I'm sorry, on this tour I did not bring a C trumpet, so I'm going to be adventurous and try to play these excerpts on B flat, which, by the way, is really, for any of you that are getting ready for auditions, try to practice all your excerpts on the B flat. It's really difficult, but then you go back to the C and it feels easy. Right? Try Petroushka on a B flat trumpet. Or on a cornet, a B flat cornet. Then go to the C trumpet and it's going to feel a lot easier.
You want to sustain it?
Sustain F, then legato F, then staccato F. And the goal here is to maintain the same quality of sound in those three variations. Don't put any vibrato for the one. Just sustain. Yes. Now legato tongue. Great staccato tongue. Really good. One more time. So, you know, the devil is in the details. It's like, that's very good. Is it the most, can it be more focused? I think your legato is perfect. Sounds great. Can the staccato, I don't want you to tongue harder. I want you to have like an aperture that's more sophisticated, like a little bit more focused up in the aperture. Excellent. Now, what I like to do, first note, accent, subito piano, crescendo to the end. So it really gives it a nice ending to the excerpt.
I think that's where I get to the issue of that burr come in the end.
Perhaps. So what do we do? What happens when you crescendo? Do you need more or less strength in the embouchure? And where is that strength coming from in the embouchure? Corners. So when you blow louder, the corners, this is where I get my strength. That's how, I don't know how I can play all those solos without having strong corners. It's not the lips. When people say, oh, that person has strong lips, no, that's not a correct statement. It's the corners, which are muscles here, that can strengthen like any muscle in the body. If you fatigue it, it'll get stronger. So when you crescendo, and you can probably see if I crescendo here, that doesn't move. It's like a goalpost in the football field. That's my goal, is to not have that move. So it's just, I call it train on the tracks. You keep the train right on the tracks. It doesn't move. You try that. Do a long tone F and crescendo, and think about the corners more. Good. Don't waver the intonation. Really straight. Excellent. Now go ahead, right to staccato, and keep that same quality. wanna finish your audition or that excerpt with a burr at the end. So how about let's try something else? Musically, who says it has to be a crescendo? Maybe it could be ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which is also valid. So, can we try that? Just kind of walking away from it. So support, so the last note doesn't die away. Good. Okay, let's work with that. So that's cleaner. You know, you don't have to be a cook in the kitchen. You try this spice, you try that spice, you see what works, what doesn't work, and you come up with your game plan that makes you sound beautiful. You have to sound beautiful. Now, everything else, absolutely fantastic. Same issue when you went to the downbeats. It was like what I heard. Da 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 da. Can you play a scale? Let's do F major scale. Oh, that's G. Your F major scale. Can you do that? Yeah, excellent. So that you hear now that has more focus in the tone. It doesn't spread at the top. Now, do it a little louder corners so that you don't get that burr when you play louder. So this is where you make a journal, practice journal, and you put piano to mezzo piano articulations and staccato at this speed are in your strengths. Weakness category. When I play mezzo forte or above on E's and F's, I have a burr on the arc. You know, I mean, I know it's tedious to do that, but this is how you get the details. You cannot be a general player to win an audition. You have to be a very specific minded player. Does it always work? No, but you give your best effort to be detail oriented. So let's try this again. Play that scale mezzo forte with your best sound slur.
Just to sustain on the top note?
Yeah, let's sustain it. Yeah. A little louder. Good. And go ahead right to staccato. Just that much. Go to the downbeat. Don't do the hold down. Don't go ba-da-dee, 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 ba-da-dee. Da-da-dun, 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 da-da-dun. Bravo. You hear the difference? That's focused. So it's going to take a concentration from you in the practice room to not spread the chops when you go there. Okay, the only other suggestion I had, high A, I would highly suggest you do that third valve. Because 1 and 2 is too stuffy and it wasn't smooth.
About intonation wise, the third valve is too flat.
It's flat, but I just raise my eyebrows or blow my tiptoes. So I mean, do something, just try to favor it. I mean, like on this horn, it's not the same, but yeah, you're right. But I've always played a third valve, and I just kind of favor it. I just try to think up the note, right? So let me try to think about this here. Just kind of think up as you go there. Again, so really connect between the F and the A, more gooey, connected like a portamento slur. Beautiful. And now let's go round trip up and down. Yeah, now my trick, that's beautiful. Now my trick here, on the next passage, which is arguably one of the most difficult parts of the excerpt, instead of the hold down, bum, ba ba da ba ba, try to really target the lower note. Bum, bum, bum. Can I hear that in slow-mo? Bum, bum, bum. Let's give me the first G. Ba, be da, be, dee da, ba. Really go to the downbeat one. lower, bum, hit it. Much more solid. Okay, now, Stravinsky wrote, there's two other details here. Stravinsky in the original version wrote this at quarter note equals 112 in the cornet part. 1948, 7? Thinking of Honegger Trotter. 47 is quarter note equals 116. That's all subjective in an audition. It all pertains to how beautifully you can sound. So you choose a tempo that works for you. I'm going to suggest right now when you replay it at 112. The other thing between the two editions is the dynamic. So the 1911 has no dynamic variation. In fact, there's nothing written. And when I first got the job in Montreal, we did a tour of the 3 ballets, so Rite of Spring, Firebird, and Petroushka, all over Asia. And we didn't have much rehearsal time because the orchestra, that is bread and butter for my orchestra. And so we had like one rehearsal in Montreal. I played the ballerina dance, it went fine. And then we get to Tokyo, and we're in the dress rehearsal, 2 hours before the concert, and he stopped. I don't have my tenure yet, I just got the job. I'm 25 years old, sitting there like, he says, trumpet, you know my name. Trumpet, it's too musical. It's too musical. Stop putting so many dynamics. We were playing the 1911, but I, in my DNA, love the 47 and practice that. You didn't do any dynamic variation, so you will get penalized for that if that was an audition. So can you play it again, 112, do all the things we just worked on, and please be page obedient and respect what's on the page dynamically.
Do you do more on the mezzo forte part? Or
Yes.
The piano part?
Do a lot more on the mezzo forte so you have a safety net.
Okay.
You're not playing a scared piano, you're playing a vocal piano. Let's get that first F. That first F has to be very simple. So I don't want you to think da da wah. I want you to think do do do. Really focus. Do 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 do. Train on the tracks. Getting closer. It's really good. Can you work on these things? If you get those, if you eliminate the burr, if you can get a more solid dynamic variation, you own this exercise. Okay? Not hard to do. I mean, you already did it here in the class, so you just need to get more consistency on it in the practice room. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, next exercise.